Hello and welcome back to another video. In this week we talked about Resident Evil and how it got the most monstrous amount of news coming out of Resident Evil 8 reveal. How about we get into this then? Okay, so intriguingly, I have literally combed through the Resident Evil reveal livestream basically, and I'm going to give you every in-depth explanation I can get, every detail that they revealed to us. So, before I really start this video, I just wanted to tell you, if you're watching this video, please sit down. This is going to be a long one. So this is going to be one of my longer videos coming out of here, because we have, I'm not joking you, six entire things to really talk about. So, sit down, have a cup of tea. Maybe if you don't like a cup of tea, have a little bit of Coke. Cocaine can always help, but you know. But yeah, I have lots to talk about. So how about we actually get into this then? So, starting off with number one, we have a new story trailer. Now, I'm really excited about the one thing that's always gathered me to a Resident Evil game is the story itself. It's always had this interesting lore behind it. It's always had, especially since Resident Evil 7, where I'm like, oh, this is so good. It actually feels genuine, unique, and it's not like any other games out there, like Resident Evil is. So I really do like the story. I like where they're heading, and so so you're probably asking, what is this new story trailer? Is it any good? So the possible breakdown is that there are two main antagonists in this. They are both brother and sister. Now, you've probably seen the giant vampire lady already. There has been many memes about this going around about everyone saying, "Step on me, dad, mummy," or something like that. But yes, you've seen her. But then there's also the brother going around. He is a Lycan, so also commonly referred to as a werewolf. So from what I can refer to this, we could see a possible Lycan and vampire war akin to the likes of Underworld. So we could have this little bit of rivalry between the brother and sister, but overall we could possibly even see them either teaming up to get rid of Ether Winters, the main protagonist, because it becomes a bit of a nuisance. We've also got a third plot line in there, which involves Chris Redfield. He's become like a little bit evil. He's killed the main love interest that we saw from Resident Evil 7. I can't remember her name exactly, but we saw her in previous him in previous trailers literally get a gun, put it to her head, and shoot her multiple times. Now, we don't know why he did this, and this could be a cool little plot reason of, like, of why to excuse the obvious Star Wars reference, but turns to the dark side in that manner. But I'm looking forward to all these plot lines kind of interweaving and somehow giving us a really good story like that. You'll probably see the trailer running around as I'm talking in that reserve. So look forward to that. And the good news is, this game is coming out in, I'm not joking you, in 4 weeks' time. In 4 weeks' time, you shall see and play Resident Evil. Now, also, talking about playing Resident Evil, there is a demo going to be available for... There's going to be countless demos, basically. Countless. There's going to be 3 unique demos. So, there's these 3 unique demos. 2 of them are going to be exclusive to the PlayStation platform. So you can play it either on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. And the last one is going to be a demo for all platforms. So this includes Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam, and even Stadia. I'm surprised people even play on that at the moment. But yes, so how about we actually I've got some details about some of these demos. So I'll probably put it up in the stream on the video right here. We've got a these two exclusive demos for the PlayStation. So the first one will be 30 minutes in the village itself. This will you can only play this for about 8 hours, sort of thing. So for some reason they put a time mark on it, so you can only play this for about 30 minutes, and then even then you've got like 8 hours to really play it. It's a bit weird. And then the second one is now based in the castle area. So you can have a full 30 minutes into this village, and you play it multiple over and over again. And like the second one is also spending time playing it over and over in the castle area. But then we've got the demo which has it for all platforms. We will be able to see that. So we'll get to play it for 60 minutes, and we can decide how long we can spend in individual areas. So they even have, as I've probably put on the screen by now, there is dates and times of when each individual platform can play it, sort of thing. So there's three banners saying what time, what day, and what areas you can even play it on. So that's all about the demo. So there's also an old mode. I didn't even realise that Resident Evil really had an old mode, really, called Mercenaries. So from what I can gather about it is that you have to basically complete a particular goal in a certain amount of time of fighting tons of enemies. So that sounds really interesting to me because it's just adding a little bit more of the game. Viewing the past areas, I would presume, not really putting too much effort into that. But there have been new additions to this old mode, so if our returning players can actually feel somewhat unique, and especially as this wasn't in Resident Evil 7, or at least I can't remember it being in there. So this new addition is there is a shop now, and you can visit this shop in between different areas. So if there was like a quarry area, and then there's a forest area, so you can see that in between. I like this idea of this shop because this shop allows you to buy health items, or even buy new weapons if you feel like you're slightly underpowered or anything like that. Or if you do feel like you're comfortable with the weapons you've got at the moment, they even give you a choice of like upgrading that weapons, so it becomes even more powerful as you get deeper and deeper into this Mercenaries mode. They've also added another thing to it. They've added abilities to it, so you can find these all scanners all around the map that help, and this will help the player with more and more difficult enemies. So you'll see a lot more of these abilities as you get later on in the game. So it allows you to progress the goal as fast as you possibly can. So it can either increase your gun damage for whatever gun you have equipped, or it can give you more health, or even increase your speed of your character. So that especially as I said earlier, it has a certain amount of time allocated to you to complete the goal in mind. So I think it could be really good helping, and it's actually, I think it could be a really unique mode that I can play over and over again, and I actually cannot wait to play this one. So there's more news outside of just telling details about the game itself, because we've also got a new anime that's coming. Now, I'm not really a big fan of anime sort of thing. I'm going to put my hands up and say, look, I don't watch much anime. I think the last anime I watched was Naruto, and then I kind of gave up on that, though I did enjoy the story quite a bit. But yes, there is a new anime called Infinite Darkness. Sadly, you can only watch this on Netflix. This is funded and produced by Netflix themselves. Sorry, it's being funded by Netflix, but is being produced by Capcom. Almost got that completely wrong. And the premise of the story is that it takes place 2 years after Resident Evil 4 and involves characters like Leon and Claire. Now, I've probably got, like I said, I've probably got the trailer up as I'm talking about this, but I think it really looks cool, unique, and I might actually watch this one. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of anime, but this one really sparks my interest, especially as it's got pretty good voice acting from what I can tell. And I'm a big I'm right. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I'm a big fan of the movies. They're cool action movies. They're old, but it's worth it. Now, interestingly enough, this also has new characters added to the series. So, if you played Resident Evil 4, you remember that screaming girl that you had to carry around always, and it was the most annoying thing in the world. Yeah, Ashley Grant, that screaming child, the father, which is the president, will be involved in this because it's basically there's a zombie outbreak at the White House for some reason, and we have to, and Claire and Leon will have to find out how has this happened and what can they do to really help. Now, there's more to it. Right, I'm not joking. There's like two more things we really need to talk about, and one of them being the Dead by Daylight game. Now, interestingly, Dead by Daylight isn't owned or anything like that. It isn't owned by Capcom, but it is done by Behaviour Interactive. It's been known to have all these amazing horror franchises on there with Freddy Krueger. We've got even the likes of Pyramid Head from other games out there. So they're at the moment they're doing an Umbrella Corp charm available to all players that log in right now, basically. So that's good. They even mentioned that the next season's main theme will be Resident Evil. Now, I just really wanted to take a second to really speculate on what we could possibly see in this Dead by Daylight season. So with this, they usually have A, a new map, B, a new survivor, and C, a new killer, of course. So I'm going to speculate about where it could possibly be and what are the new characters, basically. So I personally think what they could possibly do is have like a little... is actually take ideas from Resident Evil 2. I think it's one of their best successful best games out there, and especially since the remake did so well, I think they could possibly do have the PlayStation right there. We could see Mr. X, or even what's his name? He's from Resident Evil 3. We could also either see him there. So either one of the two could be the new killer they could add to the game. And then I had to genuinely think, who could possibly be a great survivor? So, for me, that would probably be the one person we saw in Resident Evil 4, so Ashley Grant. Because the rest of them, they've got quite a bit of fighting knowledge. We can't see the likes of Leon or Claire being involved in this. For me, they know too much about combat ability and wouldn't fit the overall feeling of Dead by Daylight. So we could see Ashley probably getting a speed boost or anything like that coming into the new Dead by Daylight. Now there is one final thing they announced before they ended the live stream itself. That is, there is a new VR game being made at Capcom, being actually financed slightly by Facebook to help along with the Oculus Quest 2. Now, I'm a big fan of any sort of VR, especially if it's affordable to most markets. That could be great. Especially as I've never, I'm going to put my hands up, I've never played Resident Evil 4. So to play it in VR, that will be bloody great. And especially, but it does suck slightly because I think this is an exclusive to the Oculus Quest 2. But we should show. They announced they're gonna announce more details in a stream coming up dedicated to all things VR. Now, like I said, I don't know much about the VR market. I've somewhat produced some games in my earlier career to VR. They weren't great, and that's why I scrapped them at the last minute. So I really want to know what the Capcom's spin on this sort of thing. It's got the new. It's not like a remake of Resident Evil 4. It has new controls, yes, and it allows you to interact with objects in the world like you would in a VR game. But it does have the same story in that regard. Even though we had heard rumours that they are remaking Resident Evil 4. It's probably a better idea than the likes of The Last of Us being remade. Fucking Sony. But that is all the news that I have for you today. Thank you. That was a lot of news to blow out, and I've probably missed some details. So if I've even missed some of those details, or even not explained it to the full extent, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make this a quick little video and really explain the details that we got out of this live stream. That's not as long as I thought it was. It's only about like 15 minutes. But yes, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. If you didn't enjoy this video, click that dislike button and tell me down in the comments below how I could possibly improve. If you enjoy the content I create, please click that subscribe button alongside that notification bell button. That'd be great. So you can catch up on all the stuff that I make constantly, because I'm always creating new and unique stuff. Especially I've got some stuff down the pipeline. And finally, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye now.